What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day so far. In today's video, we are on the test server here, and we will be playtesting one of the brand new champions, Haggibah the Nestmaid. So Haggibah here is a Force Affinity Dark Elf. She is going to be the upcoming fusion coming on July 1st, 2026. And she is part of this Web of Corruption campaign. Now, if you guys don't know what her kit is, let's go over her kit here real quick. Pretty good base stats here. Very high base HP, 24,000 HP. She is an HP based champion. Let's check out her kit. Her A1 is a single target hit with a 100% chance to land HP burn when fully booked. Also places Perfect Veil on herself. It's nice, 100% chance perfect HP burn, with the Perfect Veil. Seems pretty reasonable, right? HP burn is pretty good against bosses, PvE content, and the Veil is just good to keep her alive. The A2 on a 3-turn cooldown is an AoE attack, instantly detonates all bomb debuffs and activates 1 tick of HP burn on all enemies, has a 100% chance of landing leech. Now this ability is pretty lackluster if you don't have any bombs or HP burn. It's basically just an AoE attack with leech, so it's definitely not worthwhile even on a 3-turn cooldown. So she really needs HP burns and bombs to make this worthwhile. Her A3 does indeed land bombs, so it's going to help her out there. It starts with a steal all buff from all enemies, and then she places 2 bombs on all enemies for 2 turns. We'll place the bombs for 1 turn instead if they have no buffs. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, and you definitely want books in this to make sure she lands those bombs 100% of the time. Again, landing bombs with a 2-turn duration is not the best because she doesn't do anything on the first turn. So she doesn't do any damage or anything like that. It could be problematic because what if you don't survive until the bombs explode? Then you won't get any damage out of this ability. So that's a big problem. Let's check out her passive here. Finally, this champion is immune to HP burn and bombs herself and does not receive any damage from HP burns. Whenever an enemy tries to place any kind of hard CC on her or tries to increase her skill cooldowns, a bomb will be placed on that enemy that detonates after 1 turn. These debuffs will ignore any block debuffs buffs. It's an interesting passive, but I think 1 bomb is usually not enough to kill anybody. That's going to be the problem there. And then finally, we have HP and all battles by 30%. Now, her kit kind of screams, a little bit of PvE, a little bit of PvP. We're going to have to test her out in both areas to see how well she performs. Generally speaking, bombs usually for arena. But with the Mercurial set in the meta, Mercurial's will be pretty good against bombs. So bombs are not what you want to bring against Mercurial. Now, like I said, I'm going to bring her out in a couple of different gear sets, and we'll see how well she performs. All right, so first things first, I got her built in a regeneration set. Now, this is going to be the build I'm going to bring her in to fight Boml. I think it's interesting case here because some people were mentioning that maybe she can do well against Boml. So I figured we bring her in to fight him to see if she can do it, just to help people that are struggling with Boml. Boml's gotten a lot easier over the years. There's just more options now, but it's still reliant on a couple key options. If you don't have them, then maybe Haggibah, if her build works, maybe she can help you guys out. The big thing about her is that she is immune to bomb debuffs. Now, Boml doesn't really kill you with just bomb damage and stuff. The bombs exploding is actually a lot of damage also. So she's not immune to that damage, but the bombs getting placed on her and the HP burns getting placed on her by Boml, she is immune to. Is that enough to make her viable against Boml? We'll have to see and test her out there. Whenever an enemy tries to place any kind of hard CC on her, or that skill cooldown, or tries to increase her skill cooldown, she's going to send the bomb their way. We'll test that out in a different build in the arena. But for now, I think we're going to test this build out against Boml. We'll also send this build out into some of the dungeons just to see how well she performs. In terms of how to build her out, so what I focused on was speed, accuracy, and just HP. Obviously, we have the regeneration set here for Boml because I think she does need some healing. Her kit lacks healing other than the leech debuff. If you have leech and you want to heal off of the leech, you want to bring War Master. I brought Brimstone here just for additional damage against Boml. We are using the Wand Submission. It does provide you some good stats for her. Exactly what you want: HP, speed, and accuracy. And you have 2 circle gems here, which is kind of fun because we finally get to use these circle gems for bombs. damage boost. So, we might as well just use them here. And of course, Wand of Submission, I just assume it's one of the most accessible good relics that people have. Obviously, any kind of relic with HP, speed, or accuracy would be very good for Haggaba. Like I said, for Brimstone, for PvE content seems fine. And here we got Eagle Eye. I think these are pretty general masteries here. And then we have Cycle of Magic. We have extra stats, extra turn meter stuff, extra turn meter stuff, extra stats. Seems pretty standard stuff. Let's take this up into the dragon before we hop into Boml. Just want to test out the damage here from the bombs. All right, let's hop in here. Let's check out some of the damage numbers in the animation. So that's the A3. She opens with A3. You can kind of see here everyone is under 1 turn detonation because none of them have any buffs. So this is a pretty good ability for PvE waves because they don't really start off with buffs, right? So here we're going to go with a detonation right away with the A2. And they're popping for about 38.5k each. That is not a lot of damage, all right? That is not a lot of damage. We have just about 100k HP with 2 damage boosting gems. So her damage is definitely not going to be there. All right, guys, let's bring her out to fight Boml, and let's see how well she does. Unfortunately, on the test server here, we only have the only have the level 10 Boml open at this point, and I had to grind up here to get there. So we're gonna bring her in and see how well she performs. She's in a pretty tailor-made build for Boml. Obviously, you could bring maybe the golden elixir instead of the wand of submission. That's gonna help you out in terms of gear requirements. In terms of wave, she does pretty good against waves, right? Of course, we're only on level 10, so these waves aren't going to be very strong, but you can kind of see here she consistently lands the bombs, 1 turn duration, very strong. All right, so here we go. So she's landing the HP burn. She has the brimstone on. Let's see what happens with the bomb debuffs here. Lands the bombs, 1 get resisted, detonated the bombs. Yeah, we're only doing 38,000. So bombs again. See, look at that. Look how much damage we're taking from the exploding bombs there, right? Her passive doesn't protect her from the damage from those bombs that Boml puts out. So you still need pretty good gear. And then you need obviously healing to come back from this. So just so you guys are aware, right? This is just level 10, by the way. So it's not going to be easy. She's not a 100% kind of answer to make Boml super easy. You can kind of see the stats that I had on my Haggibah. And I think it just kind of shows you that, yeah, this champion is not made to defeat Boml very easily. We beat him here, but I think it's because our stats are just really, really strong. And yeah, we do have a regeneration set. I think without the regeneration set, we probably wouldn't be able to survive, or just not be able to recover with the healing. Obviously, not getting debuffed herself is very useful, and obviously not taking any damage from the HP burn, very useful. But you still take a lot of damage from the exploding bombs, and that is just level 10, like I said. So on higher difficulty, I don't even know if this build would actually work super well. Her bomb output, damage output seems okay, and bomb will fail pretty quickly, but it could just be because he was on level 10. All right, again, let's bring her out into some PvE content here. We're going to do hard faction wars. Let's see if she can be the sole damage dealer for this team. I got a bunch of supports here, just chilling out with everybody, and then she's going to be the sole damage dealer here. Now her bombs will get a damage boost here from the weekend, so keep that all in mind. And yeah, let's see what we can do here in terms of overall damage. We're going to go for the bombs. Nobody has buffs, so it's only a 1 turn duration, so that's kind of nice. Her bombs are based on HP, so you can't really boost them up. We did see a little bit of the bombs popping off, but honestly, not too much damage output. And then they get cleansed off. So the cleansing off part, kind of sucks, not protected or anything like that. And because it seems the bombs are just not strong enough to kill everybody, you're going to have to reapply the bombs over and over. I mean, a really good thing about the bombs is that they can go through the block debuffs, which is really nice. So here, at least we get the strip off. We get some leeches out. Cool. We get a cleanse off. Keep everybody alive. And let's see what else we can do here. We get all our stuff stripped off. That sucks. Let's see what we can do. Can we get back to the bombs quickly? Okay, heal everybody. Evil you. Nope. All right, back to the bombs. Let's go. So bombs will go through block. Actually, no, the bombs won't go through block debuffs. Only her passive bombs will go through block debuffs. Excuse me. Here we go. We're going back with the bombs. The strip is nice. There we go. We got the strip going. Yeah, our stuff stolen. It sucks. Stuff happening. Her damage output just not really there to help you clear these waves fast enough. I mean, at this rate, I don't even think we're going to be at this rate. We're not going to be able to kill anything, get through this wave because they have so much recovery here on 21. This is just going to take forever. So I don't think is a viable damage dealer by herself. Let's strip everything off. Strip is nice. I mean, strip is nice. There's all the stuff getting cleansed off. So you can kind of see here, she's really going to be struggling as a sole damage dealer. So I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. Damage based off of HP, right? So damage based off of HP. She is sitting on 92,000, but it's not enough. And she also has damage gems here for bombs. Let's switch up on her build here. We're going to go into the arena. All right, guys, so I switched her up into a arena gear set here. We are running the 6-piece deflection set. A lot of people have mentioned to me that I should test this out on her. I don't think this is going to be a required set or the best set on her for the arena. I still think something like Stone Skin makes the most sense just so she gets a turn. She has no way to like prevent herself from dying or anything like that. We'll probably switch up this Brimstone here and maybe use like Sheep. Sheep kind of makes sense here for her. Yeah, deflection. I don't have the best deflection gear on Earth or anything like that. But yeah, and I have no accessories on her because I don't grind Platinum Arena. So deflection, very, very tough, set to put together for a champion with decent stats. For her, again, just focus on speed and accuracy. Those are the main things. And then bombs scale off of HP. So high HP definitely makes sense. But her kit doesn't really utilize deflection that well. So I don't really have necessarily super high hopes. Like, for example, this one, when you steal buffs from the enemy, that doesn't remove mercurial stacks, for example. But placing the bombs here, you will remove one mercurial stack. And then on this ability, you do get a hit that will remove mercurial stack, and then the leech will also remove mercurial stack. And the way that the debuffs are removing mercurial stacks is basically from the 6-piece bonus. So whenever the enemy blocks debuffs, like with mercurial stacks, they will take a little bit of damage, which will remove the mercurial stacks. So that's why the 6-piece bonus for deflection is very powerful nowadays, because it helps you remove mercurial stacks with basically, multi-staged ability debuffers. So if they have a hit with the place debuff, or then that's multiple mercurial stacks being removed if you have the 6-piece deflection set. But for her, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. You're better off just using maybe Stone Skin with random stats to get you as fast and as high as accurate as possible. We're still running the wanted deflection. We're still going to run the bomb debuffs, damage boost, see if it actually works well. Sheep, and then same masteries as we had for the PvE content. Running 700 accuracy. We're running the 5-star blessing here. I assume she's going to have the 5-star event for her. So we're going to run her at her maximum potential here. 327 speed, 120k HP. It's a pretty decent build. I would like her to be obviously way faster. But yeah, it's it's deflection. We don't have a lot of it. Let's bring her into some arena. We'll test her out into some different situations and see how well she works out. Let's test her out here against Samuel. We got a build here. She's going to be the main damage dealer here. Let's see how well she performs. And in this case, we want to test out her passive, right? We want to see if her passive allows her to place bombs. That's kind of what we're looking at here, right? If she locks, she's not going to get a chest. She doesn't get locked out here. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. All right, so it's our turn. Let's place the bombs. All right, 45k on the bombs. I mean, that's not bad, right? You land both of them, not bad. Let's see what happens when we petrify. Explodes 45k. Can the bombs kill Leo? Let's see here. Be interesting to see. 45k per tick, not too bad. Tick tick 45k. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, if you can land both of them on a clean team, then yeah, you're gonna do some damage here. I want to get locked out. I want to get locked out and see what happens here. All right, let's test. Let's test this. Let's test getting locked out. Let's see what happens. All right, Hilvia has a triple stack here. Okay, so there's the bomb landing on Crixia. She did get locked out. HP burn you. 45k on the Crixia is not enough. See, there's that one tick. There's that one tick, right, guys? One tick from that bomb is not enough to kill any reasonable champion. 45k, especially not from a support champion. So I wouldn't bank on her passive being solely responsible for you guys winning go second fights. All right, let's say that. Let's bring back Fabian here and let's see what we can do against this team. We do have a triple Mercurial stack Hilvi here. Let's see how well we can do against that. Like I said, deflection is not going to be the reason why she's going to be, be able to be taking out all the Mercurial stacks. And I don't think it matters too much for her build here. So here we go. Let's see if we can steal some buffs. And it's a touchless ability, right? So having the deflection set obviously will be more helpful than not having the deflection set. But we're only going to remove one Mercurial stack from Hilvi. If we didn't have the deflection set, then we would be removing 0 stacks of Mercurial because it's a touchless ability. So let's see what happens here. Yep, we removed 1 stack of Mercurial and we got evaded by the Predator and we landed the bombs on everybody else. Marius gets 2 one-turn bombs because he has no buffs, which is cool. All right, so let's go. Let's see what the big difference will be. Protect everybody, and Predator got stopped. So that's kind of nice. And kill her, hopefully. Marius dies. 45k. Yeah. 45k. Like, keep in mind that, yeah, my Haggibah has 120k HP, so it's significant. And she has 2 big damage gems, right? So it's pretty significant. But not all champions will die from 90k damage, okay, guys? So her damage is not enough. Her damage is not enough. All right, let's test her against this team, Ian's team here. He does have a Fabian with a triple Mercurial stack Hilvi and a double Mercurial stack Predator. Let's see what we can do against him. Similar situation here. Go for the bombs. This will remove 1 stack of the Mercurial from Hilvi. But the Predator evaded us, so that kind of sucks. And there goes Predator, there goes Fabian with 90k damage, right? So it is pretty significant. It can kill some supports, but it's not going to kill some of the tankiest supports out there, right? And here we go. So this ability here is going to be a hit, and placing the leech will remove a Mercurial stack. So potentially removes 2 Mercurial stacks here. There's no bombs out or anything like that. So yeah, it's a very low value ability if there's no HP burns, no no bombs to detonate. It's a very low ability there. So what else is going on? You got HP burns. Here we go. You got an HP burn on Hilvi. Everybody's dead. Like, what can you do, right? So some of you in my comments have mentioned that she is kind of like a mini Comedus, but I think Comedus is quite a lot better than she is. Obviously, Comedus is a mythical champion. He is expected to be better, but Comedus's kit is actually significantly better than Hagabah's kit. So let's go into his alternate form here and how Comedus really, really utilizes the 6-piece deflection set to be a proper Mercurial stack remover, whereas Haggibah is not, right? So first of all, Comedus has extra turn mechanics in his kit. So first, with his ability, he can place weaken. And like I said, if he places a debuff and it gets stopped by Mercurial stacks, it removes it, at least one stack. So he removes one stack with his ability, and then he gets an extra turn. And he goes into this ability, which does a bunch of stuff, and it's all awesome, and it all kind of works well together. So you can kind of see what happens here, right? So he attacks the enemy, so that's going to remove a Mercurial stack. And then he's going to place the bombs, which is going to remove a Mercurial stack. And if for some reason they don't have, full protection from full three-piece Mercurial stacks, then they're going to eat some bombs, right? And the bombs instantly detonate. And if for some reason the bombs don't instantly kill you, they detonated, they're going to land a stun on you too. So the fact that Hagaba, first of all, has a high likelihood of not killing very strong supports with her bombs, even both bombs going off. She doesn't have a chance to really like stop them. Like for example, like with the stun here from Comedus. So Comedus, can place the bombs. If he doesn't kill you right away, he can place a stun on you. Um, but he also buffs his bombs damage with the weaken. And of course, he's a proper 3-stack Mercurial remover in the deflection. So he's way better than Haggibah, just as a pure like bomb slash debuffer slash synergistic kit champion, right? So Haggibah is just not going to be working out too well. I don't know what Plarium was thinking when they released this champion, but you guys can kind of see that her passive landing one bomb is not enough to kill anything reasonable, right? We have 120k Haggibah here with 2 bomb damage gems. And we're doing 45k a bomb. I mean, that's fine, but it's not going to kill every single, support champion out there. And she doesn't have too much ways to recover after that. Like, what is she going to do afterwards to kind of build off of that momentum, right? If she doesn't kill you with the bombs, what is she going to do? Place leech? What is she going to do? Place HB burn? Hide? It's just not there, right? Whereas Comedus, if he doesn't kill you, you're stunned, right? And then it gives him a chance to cycle back. He also does a bunch of other CC stuff, which is wild. But Haggibah, she doesn't have that level of ability. The go second kind of strategy here, where you're trying to protect yourself from getting stunned or CC, like I said, placing one bomb, it's not enough. The damage here is not enough. Stealing the buffs is fine. Again, it doesn't work against Mercurial. You can't steal Mercurial, but stealing the buffs here is fine. This ability really needs something else. Like this is just not going to work. It really should be, I don't know. It really needs to be something else. Like attacks all enemies. I don't know. Reduce their turn meter by 50% or something like that. Just something to slow them down. Give you a chance to do something, right? And then this ability, like it just doesn't really work. I don't know. It feels like it doesn't work very well, guys. People saying this she's good against Boml. I don't think so. She's still going to eat a lot of damage from those bombs. She doesn't have any heal mechanics in her own kit. She doesn't have any survivability mechanics in her own kit. So you can't really eat the bomb damage, the exploding bombs, not the bomb debuffs because she's immune. You can't really eat the exploding bomb damage and have no way to kind of recover yourself outside of having golden elixir or regeneration set. So some of the key champions to kill Boml, if you guys are struggling, the easiest one is this epic champion from the Banner Lords. Where is she? This one, Lady Annabelle. Her passive makes it so that she is insane, right? Heals the champion of 50% of the max XP whenever an ally or an enemy dies. So an enemy is a bomb. Like a dread bomb is an enemy. So when a dread bomb dies, she gets healed by 50% of her HP. Like that's just being able to self-sustain, the level, right, of self-sustain that you need against Boml. Whereas Haggibah, she doesn't have anything like to kind of heal herself up in that way. So she's really relying on gear. So what you guys saw in Boml 10 when I showed it in this video was basically just my own gear, out-gearing the content, and then just relying on a regeneration set to recover, and of course her crazy speed. But I assure you, in the higher levels of Boml, she's going to eat so much damage that there's no way that she can survive. So she's not even I don't even think she's a viable Boml champion unless you have crazy stats on her or crazy gear sets, like, a really nice regeneration set with the immortal set, and then probably a golden elixir just to make sure she has enough healing. And even then, I'm not even convinced that she would be able to kill, live through all that damage from Boml. So I'm struggling here to find a good spot and say some good words about this champion. Because I think the general consensus is that she's terrible. And I was really thinking about how I can make her kind of perform well in a way, but I really don't see it. I mean, like for clan boss, she can place leech, she can do HP burn. This is pretty much useless. Like for example, we can go into the clan boss right now and see how well she does. Like just landing HP burn. Here's her HP burn again. And for some reason, her AI just likes to do the A1 over and over. It's kind of weird. Let's land the bombs. Let's see how well she does. 48k per tick, which is pretty much what she was doing with the bombs against just regular other champions. So her A1 here is doing 36. Let's detonate. Okay, let's detonate a tick of the HP burn, right? And one tick of the HP burn is 75k. So one tick of the HP burn is 75k, and the bombs here 48k. Like so, you got one tick of the HP burn dealing almost as much as both her bombs. Totally irrelevant damage, right? Like at this point. So yeah, guys, like I said, I'm really struggling to find a spot where she can, perform relatively well. Against waves, she does pretty well. She gets quite a bit of value from waves because they don't have buffs. So you're always going to get the bombs out with one turn duration. So that's kind of okay. And if she's in a team, she can be veiled so she can keep herself alive a little bit longer. That's kind of okay. So wave content, she might be all right. But we did take her out into hard faction wars and she just wasn't doing enough damage. It just was not impressive enough. I'm not really seeing a really good use case for her, guys. And I definitely don't recommend any new accounts jumping on her unless you guys are really just going for her for the token, for the fusion token, or if you guys want to exchange her for somebody else, I think that's perfectly fine. There's, dozens of other past fusions I would rather have instead of her, to be honest. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the showcase here on Haggibah the Nestmaid. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about her. How badly did I miss the mark? You guys let me know. If there's anything that you guys see that I'm not seeing, if there's any place that we can use her, if there's any kind of gear sets that you guys want me to try on her, I'll definitely keep that all in mind and maybe make a video on that in the future. But for now, this is just going to be the showcase for her that I have for you guys on day one of the test server reveal. And my verdict is that she's not going to be very good. She's not going to be very viable for most players in basically all areas. I would say all areas, she's just not going to be great. We've had past bombers like Cross, the Fusion, and I think Cross is a little bit better because he does bring block actives, which is actually pretty decent as a crowd control. And he does have some turn meter mechanics that lets him come back to his turn so that he can actually do something else. And he actually can hit a little bit hard, whereas Haggibah just doesn't deal damage from her base skills, and she really relies on the bomb damage. So I would rate somebody like Cross a little bit higher than Haggibah as a damage dealer. So not really seeing it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching until the end. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you guys watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.